In the hospital ward, a postpartum depressed mother offered me 50,000 yuan to switch beds with her, behaving extremely arrogantly. My best friend firmly refused on my behalf. Think you're so great just because you have some dirty money. We despise capitalists like you who only know how to insult people with money. We absolutely won't encourage your toxic behavior. That very night, the mother suffered a depressive episode and jumped off the building. While I was doxxed online and subjected to cyberbullying, I begged my best friend to help explain the situation. My best friend seized the opportunity to flirt with the new mother's husband, sitting in his luxury car while sneering at me. If you hadn't refused to change beds just because you thought the payment was too low, would the mother have died, you murderer, hounded by online trolls? I hid everywhere and missed my chance for surgery, ultimately dying in agony in a filthy alley. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the very first day of my hospital stay. The mother threw 50,000 yuan in cash at me. 50,000 for your hospital bed. Move aside if you know what's good for you. Just as my best friend opened her mouth to refuse on my behalf, I pushed her aside and bowed gratefully to the mother. Forget just swapping beds. I'd even replace your husband for you if you wanted. 50,000 for your bed. What's a poor wretch like you hesitating for? A woman dressed in designer brands looked haggard, standing beside a pot-bellied man who was pulling cash out of an LV handbag. I shuddered and quickly opened my phone. Alipay note, voluntary gift, thank you. The woman froze for a moment, then instructed the man to transfer the money to me, but my best friend Li Jie rushed over and snatched my phone. Zhengmi, this hospital bed was specially reserved for you. How could you disregard my kindness for just 50,000 yuan? How could you be so cheap? I snatched the phone from her. What do you mean saved especially for me? This bed cost me 20,000 yuan. The woman was provoked by Li Jie's words and screamed like a madwoman. A bed that costs a few dozen yuan, I'll give you 50,000, and you still think my money is dirty. Do you look down on me? Li Jie scoffed. What's wrong with you? Do you really think everyone is as money obsessed as you? I reminded Li Jie from the side. She's a patient. And she looks like she just gave birth. It's normal for her emotions to fluctuate. Don't be so harsh with your words. Li Jie rolled her eyes and sneered. Which woman doesn't give birth? I've never seen anyone go crazy like her. After saying that, Li Jie's eyes flickered with a meaningful glance as they lightly swept over the new mother's husband. With such a handsome and dashing husband, wearing the best clothes and accessories, what more could she possibly want? If it were me, I'd be grateful to my husband, cook for him every day, and take good care of him. I'd never cause him any trouble. The new mother had a depressive episode on the spot after hearing those words and turned to bang her head against the wall. Her husband's eyes gleamed with excitement as he stood firmly in place, showing no intention of stopping her. I quickly grabbed the woman's hand. All right, don't listen to Li Jie's nonsense. You giving me this much money means you think highly of me. I'll switch beds with you. I'll do it right now. Li Jie couldn't hold back anymore. Zhengmi, what do you mean by this? You casually gave away the hospital bed I arranged for you. Do you not want to be best friends anymore? This was the director's bed. I begged him for ages before he agreed to let you have the surgery. If you change beds without permission, do you not want the operation anymore? Do you want to die? I was both angry and amused by Li Jie's words, just like in my past life. She used our friendship to emotionally blackmail me and threatened to take away my surgery opportunity to stop me from changing beds. She even said that if I were to give up a life-saving opportunity for money, she would never care about me again and let me die from illness. Your chronic condition doesn't even require treatment in the first place. Plenty of people are just waiting to die. Only I'm putting in all this effort to help you, securing such a good hospital bed for you. If you switch beds for money, don't expect me to help when the director investigates. Are you really going to give up a life-saving chance for 50,000 yuan? Zhengmi, think carefully. In this world, only I treat you the best. Would I ever harm you? Li Jie used both threats and emotional appeals, making it hard for me to make a decision at the moment. The woman was a postpartum depressive patient, extremely emotionally unstable. Seeing my hesitation, she didn't push further but just buried herself under the blanket, ignoring everyone. Unexpectedly, that night she suddenly burst into tears, opened the window, and jumped from the 7th floor. The patient didn't die immediately. When passers-by found her, she kept murmuring about how I wouldn't even exchange beds for 50,000 yuan. At that time, I had already been wheeled into the operating room and had no idea what was happening, but just before the surgery, the doctor suddenly raised the fee, exactly 50,000, no more, no less. I couldn't come up with the money, so I went to Li Jie for help, hoping she could lend me some. I promised to work hard after leaving the hospital and repay her double. To my surprise, Li Jie not only refused my request but also told the interviewing reporter right in front of me, "Yeah, it's that Zhengmi. They already gave her 50,000. But she wasn't satisfied. She jacked up the price and stubbornly held onto the bed, driving the new mother to despair and making her jump off the building. There are plenty of beds in the hospital, they're practically worthless. Zhengmi just wanted to scam more money. Only then did I realize that the new mother was suffering from postpartum depression, with extreme emotional swings, and couldn't handle any more stress. It was also at this moment that I saw Li Jie's true, ugly nature. She lied to me, saying hospital beds were in short supply, and asked me for 20,000 yuan as a bed fee to pull strings, but she actually pocketed all the money herself. Later, the mother died despite rescue efforts, and Li Jie's interviews spread widely online. Everyone believed I was responsible for her death and subjected me to cyberbullying. They came to the hospital to corner me, and upon learning I couldn't afford the 50,000 yuan for surgery, they mocked me mercilessly. This is karma. When someone offered her 50,000, she tried to extort more. Now look, she's broke and gonna die. Ha 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 ha, she deserves to die, taking a life. She couldn't atone even if she died 8 times over. They drove me out of the hospital, chasing and hurling insults at me, forcing me to hide in dark corners. Then one day, I collapsed in pain beside a trash bin and saw Li Jie walking out of a luxury store arm in arm with the new mother's husband. She noticed me too, pulled 50 yuan from her purse, and tossed it at my feet. How pitiful, Zhengmi, you were so good at studying and so capable at work, yet now you're barely clinging to life like a dog. Here, take this money and buy yourself something to eat. I picked up that banknote. I hadn't eaten in 2 days, and if I starved any longer, my condition would worsen. I wanted to live, but this action made Li Jie burst into laughter. She pointed at me and mocked to the new mother's husband. Darling, look at her. Still that same lowly creature who'd do anything for money, not like me, treating wealth as dirt, pure and noble. The husband of the postpartum woman lewdly pinched Li Jie's waist. I just love this aloof attitude of yours. The way you refused to switch beds that day drove me wild. Only then did I realize that Li Jie had stopped me from switching beds back then to seduce the husband of the postpartum woman. She pretended to be aloof, using my bed to build her image. What's worse, knowing full well that the postpartum woman was suffering from depression, she deliberately refused to switch beds, driving her to her death. The mother died after jumping off a building. I was cyberbullied and driven out of the hospital, yet she hooked up with the deceased's husband, riding in luxury cars and shopping at high-end stores. This time, I won't let her succeed again. I shook off Li Jie's hand and glared at her. This bed cost me 20,000 yuan. How did it suddenly become something you specially prepared for me? If you really cared about me, why don't you cover my surgery fees? Stop pretending to be noble when you haven't spent a single cent. I forcefully shoved Li Jie aside and thrust the payment QR code in front of the expectant mother's husband. Note: bed exchange fee, voluntary gift. When the husband saw that I actually agreed to switch beds, his face twisted momentarily. Instead of paying, he leered at Li Jie and said, "I hate dealing with greedy women like you the most. Let your friend talk to me." Li Jie laughed delightedly, casting an increasingly mocking glance at me. "Hear that, Zhengmi? Stop your money grubbing, worthless behavior. Save yourself from being looked down upon." I remained indifferent. "Oh. So you're someone worth looking up to? You look like an underdeveloped toad. Forget looking down on you. I can barely even see you. If you've got nothing better to do, go clean the toilets. 3 years out of medical school and still an intern, can't diagnose or prescribe, but you've mastered the art of scrubbing toilets to perfection." Li Jie turned red with anger and stormed off in a huff. I closed the door and turned to the laboring mother, who was covering her mouth to stifle her laughter. "Although I don't know why you want my bed, it's okay, as long as you like it, as long as you're happy, then I'll switch. You're beautiful and generous. You should get whatever you want." I then showed the payment QR code to her husband. "For your wife's happiness, you wouldn't even spare 50,000 yuan, would you?" The new mother frowned at the man, who cleared his throat and reluctantly made the payment, seeing the money had arrived. I swiftly moved my luggage to the window seat. After changing beds, the nurse called me to the doctor's office. Opening the door, Director Li sat sternly behind his desk. Just as I was about to enter, Li Jie suddenly darted out from behind and pushed me aside. She leaned close to Director Li's ear and whispered something unknown. By the time I walked over and sat down, I could see Director Li's face had turned extremely unpleasant. He angrily confronted me. "If you're dissatisfied with my skills, You're free to transfer hospitals. No need to humiliate me like this. My beds are reserved for patients in need, not for you to sell. I glanced at Li Jia, who wore a smug expression and provocatively raised an eyebrow at me. In my previous life, just before I was wheeled into the operating room, I was informed that the surgery fee had suddenly increased by 50,000. That was when I realized Director Li and Li Jia were birds of a feather. He didn't care about patients' lives at all. Accepting red envelopes during surgeries was a common practice for him. For patients who didn't give red envelopes, he would deliberately prolong the surgery. Many patients had already come out of anesthesia, yet he was still cutting flesh with his scalpel, leaving them to endure excruciating pain and suffering. As for me, right after being admitted, I approached him and explained my financial difficulties. I couldn't even afford expensive medication, let alone give him a red envelope, so during this period before the surgery, he's been consistently cold toward me, rushing through examinations. When I went to ask him about the surgery details, he wouldn't even let me through the door, yet Li Jia could come and go as she pleased. Clearly, Li Jia was a poor student who only graduated by cheating, and at the hospital, she knew nothing, repeatedly causing medical incidents. But Director Li favored her immensely, not only teaching her hands-on but also frequently closing the door to discuss medical techniques with her. Only later did I realize that they had already slept together, and all those favors were just payment for selling herself. Watching the two of them standing together, I felt an ominous premonition in my heart. Sure enough, Director Li turned against me. The bed is just a minor issue, my main concern is your condition, so I specially applied for an expedited surgery for you. But if we proceed with the surgery early, the surgeon will have to work extra hard. It's not unreasonable for you to offer some compensation, right? It's not much, just 50,000. You should know that in this entire hospital, no one but me can perform your surgery. Li Jia also looked at me smugly. This opportunity was specially requested for you by me, Jingmi. Aren't you going to thank me? I had anticipated that Li Jia would retaliate against me, but I never expected her to be so despicable and shameless. Together with Director Li, as doctors, they disregarded the patient's life and safety, using the surgery as a threat to extort money from me. What early surgery? Li Jia would never give me the chance for surgery. The reason they dared to demand money from me so brazenly was that they had already planned to kill me on the operating table. It was currently working hours, and the hospital was bustling with patients and doctors. But because the door was closed, they couldn't hear what was happening inside the office. Fortunately, I was very close to the door. I flung the door open and screamed through tears, "Why should I transfer 50,000 into your account? My surgery fees have already been paid to the hospital. What exactly do you mean by asking for more money now? Are you all just waiting for me to die, deliberately scamming me out of my money?" Director Li and Li Jia hadn't expected me to react like this and were both startled. One rushed to close the door while the other moved to cover my mouth. I didn't give them the chance. I shoved the door open, ran into the hallway, and shouted even louder, "I'm reporting this to the Health Commission and disciplinary authorities. I'll expose you for coercing me into bribery." The patients in the hallway were all drawn over, crowding the office until it was packed, with many raising their phones to record the scene. Director Li was so frightened he lost his composure, stammering an explanation. "These are all normal surgical fees. What bribery? There's no such thing. Rest assured, I know your family is poor, and the medicine I prescribed for you is all reimbursable. Doctors have benevolent hearts. Treating illnesses and saving lives is my duty." "How could I ask for your hard-earned money?" I sneered. "Not asking for hard-earned money? Then why did you just demand 50,000 yuan from me? Did I mishear, or was it actually that you saw my family's poverty and wanted to donate to me?" Director Li's face twitched as he stuttered, "And no, that's right, you misheard. I wanted to donate 50,000 to you." I clapped my hands happily. "That's great. Note it as a charitable donation on Alipay, voluntary gift. Here, scan the code." Director Li trembled with anger, but everyone in the hallway was praising his kindness at that moment. If he didn't give the money, he would truly lose face. Director Li took out his phone and fumbled with it for a long time without scanning the code. Just when I thought he would keep pretending, he suddenly took a deep breath and said to Li Jia, "My phone ran out of battery. You give her the money first, and I'll transfer it back to you after I charge my phone." Li Jia was shocked, her eyes widening like copper bells, but under Director Li's threatening gaze, she could only reluctantly take out her phone to scan the code. Just as she was about to enter the number 50,000, I leisurely stopped her. "Didn't you just say you'd sponsor me too, and something about covering my bed fee? 20,000, thank you." Li Jia's face turned green, and she blurted out, What kind of bed fee costs 20,000? Stop trying to scam people here, bet you didn't expect it. But there really is a 20,000 yuan bed fee. Unhurriedly, I opened the chat page and showed her the records where she had demanded 20,000 from me as a favor fee to secure the bed. Li Jia gritted her teeth in anger, lowering her voice to demand, after all these years as best friends, after how good I've been to you, is this how you repay me? Hearing her mention the word, best friends, made me want to vomit. What kind of best friend would meticulously scheme to cheat money from a sick person, pretending to suddenly understand? I wiped my eyes, just as Li Jia was looking smug, thinking she'd successfully manipulated me again. I said calmly, for best friends, that'll cost extra, you should donate 50,000 too. Li Jia was so angry that she nearly fainted, closing her eyes tightly. The onlookers, unaware of what had happened, began speculating, all that talk about donations must be fake. If you ask me, these two doctors were trying to extort a 50,000 yuan bribe from the patient, and when they got caught, they had to make up a lie. Exactly, how despicable to cheat patients out of their money. Let's all report these unethical doctors, we can't let them continue their wrongdoing. As the crowd grew increasingly agitated, the situation was on the verge of spiraling out of control. Under the director's urging, Li Jia reluctantly transferred 100,000 to me. Although the note said, voluntary gift, Li Jia's face was uglier than a freshly slaughtered pig. There was nothing voluntary about it. Director Li was scolded until he was utterly humiliated, slinking back to his office in disgrace. Li Jia glared at me fiercely, still trying to threaten me. No one but the director can perform this surgery. You've offended us. Have you thought about how you want to die? I sneered coldly. That's perfect, a dying person like me dares to do anything. Instead of wasting time threatening me, you'd better pick a good day and wait for me to take you with me. Li Jia was frightened by my words and scurried away shamefacedly, leaving only one sentence behind. Just you wait, I have plenty of ways to make you regret this. Back in the hospital room, the new mother's husband immediately came up to me, constantly looking behind me. You're so seriously ill. Isn't your best friend coming to accompany you? Li Jia would definitely come to accompany me. After all, she had just donated all her savings to me. Director Li, that stingy miser, might sleep with Li Jia for some small favors, but that's about it. A sum as large as 100,000 yuan, he would never give it. Li Jia, a useless woman who only causes medical accidents, earns a mere 2,800 yuan a month, suddenly losing so much money. She would definitely find a way to recoup it from someone else. That someone would be the fat pig of a husband belonging to the pregnant woman. In their past life, less than a week after the pregnant woman jumped to her death, he hooked up with Li Jia and even used the insurance payout meant for his deceased wife to buy Li Jia bags and perfume. I want to expose all of this, but I've found that the media has already been bribed by Li Jia. No matter how much I beg, they simply refuse to help me bring it to light. They even portrayed Li Jia as a kind-hearted angel in white, claiming that it was her comfort that helped the fat pig regain his spirits. Those two despicable people ended up becoming a celebrated love story instead. When the new mother first entered the ward, I thought she was arrogant and rude, but now I only feel pity for her. Not only did she suffer from postpartum depression, but she also developed a chronic illness. She was hospitalized before even finishing her confinement period. And her husband is nothing but a philandering fat pig, offering 50,000 yuan in good faith to exchange beds only to run into that bitch Li Jia. The bed situation became the last straw that broke the camel's back. In my past life, I made a point to follow up on what happened afterward. Not long after the mother jumped to her death, her 1-month-old baby also passed away due to a sudden illness. Soon after, her elderly parents, having lost both their daughter and grandson in quick succession, also passed away not long after. It was because her death led to even greater tragedy that, after I was exposed, the scandal refused to die down, turning me into public enemy number one. This also led to no hospital being willing to take me in later, and the landlord even drove me out of my home. I could only hide in dark alleys, suffering from bacterial infection until my painful death. Everyone thought I deserved to die, that it was my just punishment for driving the mother to her death. Thinking of this, I shed 2 tears for the mother. We are both pitiful. The new mother, emotionally sensitive, immediately noticed. What's wrong with you? You're not regretting swapping beds with me and wanting to switch back, are you? I glanced at the fat pig next to me. He didn't understand what was going on but still growled a warning at me. What are you looking at? Get back to your spot, you pauper. I pretended to be startled and shook my head at the new mother without saying a word. Soon, Li Jia came to the ward under the pretext of bringing me food. She blushed and dodged slightly at the sight of the fat pig, like an innocent little rabbit unaware of worldly matters. Li Jia was beautiful, with a pair of large, innocent eyes that always looked at you pitifully. In my past life, I was deceived by her appearance, feeling sorry for her low salary. I gave her half of mine to rent a luxury apartment. Her takeout, milk tea, and desserts were always on me. After falling ill, I trusted her with all my heart. Whatever amount she asked for, I gave without hesitation, hoping only that she, as a doctor, would help me find the best treatment. Yet in the end, I was left penniless, unable to afford surgery, and died with my eyes wide open in regret. This time, I confronted her early on, but judging by her demeanor, it seems she's still determined to play the innocent, virtuous saint. The fat pig enthusiastically greeted her. Li, here to take care of your best friend again, to go this far for someone unrelated by blood. You're truly kind-hearted. Li Jia pretended to be shy and lowered her head. I genuinely feel sorry for Zhengmi. She's already suffering so much from her illness. I can't bear to let her do anything else. Forget just delivering meals, I'd even give her my life if she needed it. The fat pig praised her. So kind, truly an angel in white. Since when do angels in white drive people to death and steal their husbands? I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Li Jia kept up her act, feigning concern as she asked me, "What's wrong, Zhengmi? Don't worry, just tell me. I'll help you with anything." I stopped laughing and said with a serious expression, "Will you really help me with anything, really?" Li Jia spared no effort in performing her kindness to make Fatty Pig more interested in her. I gave her a smile and said, "Then come over here, I've soiled the bed." Li Jia's smile froze on her face, and she couldn't bring herself to take a step forward. I pretended to be innocent. "Aren't we the best of friends? You're the only one in this world who treats me the best, Li Jia. You have no idea how touched I was when you said you'd help me with anything just now." Li Jia's face flushed red with frustration at my words, especially since she was the one who had said them herself. If she didn't come to clean up after me, she'd be contradicting her own words. Sure enough, Li Jia glanced at the fat pig, gritted her teeth, and walked toward me. Just then, for some reason, the postpartum woman felt nauseous and vomited all over the bed. The fat pig immediately showed a look of disgust. "Damn it, watch where you're going, you almost puked all over me." The new mother froze for a moment, and tears immediately began to fall pattering down. I quickly pushed Li Jia forward. "Stop crying, my best friend has cleaned toilets for many years and is great at sanitation, let her handle it." Li Jia was so angry she wanted to hit me. "What nonsense are you spouting? I'm a doctor, not a cleaner. Why should I clean up for her?" I ignored her and instead said to the fat pig, "Sir, you're absolutely right. My best friend is the kindest angel in white in the world. Someone as wonderful as her would never make you deal with such disgusting things." The fat pig, who never wanted to clean up after his wife in the first place, was overjoyed upon hearing this. He rushed over in a few strides and grabbed Li Jia's hand. "Then I'll thank Dr. Li in advance." Li Jia didn't feel disgusted or refuse when the fat pig touched her hand. Instead, she bashfully stamped her foot and cleaned the bed soiled by the new mother spotlessly. After that, I repeated my trick, keeping Li Jia running around while also creating plenty of opportunities for physical contact between her and the fat pig. In just one day, the two had already progressed to hugging and cuddling in the bathroom while washing rags. They weren't discreet about it, and the new mother, being sensitive, quickly noticed everything and hid under the covers, sobbing. I didn't try to comfort her. Her postpartum depression was because of that fat pig. As long as he's dead, she'll naturally recover. That night, the postpartum woman did not jump off the building. In the following days, the flirtation between Li Jia and fat pig became increasingly frequent and blatant. They would hold hands in front of the postpartum woman, and when they kissed in the bathroom, Li Jia would deliberately leave the door slightly ajar for the woman to see. The postpartum woman's mental state deteriorated day by day, her face as pale as a ghost's. After witnessing fat pig secretly groping Li Jia's buttocks once again, the postpartum woman finally snapped. She was like a madwoman, throwing everything to the ground and chasing Li Jia with disheveled hair. After being stopped by Fei Zhu, she cried and made a scene, threatening to jump off the building, even stepping onto the windowsill before I forcefully pulled her back. Li Jia stood by, making sarcastic remarks. "If you really wanted to jump, could anyone stop you? You're just using this to manipulate Brother Chen. But what has Brother Chen done wrong to deserve such torment from you?" Fei Zhu wholeheartedly agreed. "I've even come to stay in the hospital with you. What more do you want? Don't push your luck." the attitudes of the two drove the new mother to complete breakdown, causing her to repeatedly bang her head against the wall. Fat Pig and Li Jia turned a blind eye, intimately linking arms as they headed to the bathroom to whisper sweet nothings. Standing outside the door, I clearly heard Fat Pig say, "She's got postpartum depression, she'll kill herself in a few days anyway. Once she's dead, I'll marry you right away, my little darling, give me a kiss." While Li Jia and Fat Pig were carrying on their affair behind the scenes, they didn't forget to plot revenge against me. I don't know what she discussed overnight with Director Li, but by the time I woke up in the morning, I had already been wheeled into the operating room. Director Li, dressed in surgical scrubs, raised a scalpel and gave me an evil smile. "Did you really think I couldn't do anything to you, Jingmi? All I had to do was tell people you suddenly fell into an unresponsive coma this morning, and I could will you into surgery under the pretense of emergency treatment. What happens next isn't for you to decide, you'll just have to lie there watching your life drain away, completely powerless to stop it. This is the price you pay for defying me and cheating me out of my money." I ignored him and instead asked where Li Jia had gone. Director Li snorted, "You have no family, so I had her sign your surgery consent form as your next of kin. She can only wait outside." As the anesthesia took effect, my vision grew hazy, and my mind became muddled. I struggled to keep my eyes open and forced myself to ask him, "She's not my family at all. Once I get out, if I hold the hospital accountable, both you and Li Jia will have to take responsibility." Director Li chuckled darkly, "You think you'll still get out, an orphan dying during surgery? No one will stand up for justice or investigate any consent forms. Dare to cheat me out of my money, go die." As the anesthesia took effect, I could only watch helplessly as Director Li's scalpel slowly cut into my skin. Just as I was about to fall into a deep sleep, a sudden commotion erupted outside the operating room. "Help, someone jumped off the building." Someone frantically banged on the operating room door. "Director Li, come out quickly, your patient has jumped off the building." Director Li was reluctant to leave just like that, but the people outside were pressing urgently. And if the expectant mother under his care jumped to her death in the hospital, the consequences would be more than he could bear. Director Li rushed out in a hurry, and my surgery was put on hold. The nurses didn't know how to arrange for me, so they had to will me back. I don't know if it was intentional to torment me during the surgery, but the anesthesia wore off quickly, and I woke up soon after. When I opened my eyes, I saw the pregnant woman straddling the windowsill, wailing and threatening to jump. Surrounded by a crowd of onlookers, the Fat Pig stood at the front, his face flushed with anger. "I've provided you with good food and care, and you really think you're some kind of royalty? Who are you trying to threaten with this fake suicide act? Disgraceful thing, get down now." The new mother's postpartum depression was severe. When emotionally overwhelmed, she couldn't utter a single word. The Fat Pig hurled accusations at her one after another. "I spent money on your medical treatment and hospital stay, and this is how you repay me. I've never seen a woman as troublesome as you." Li Jia also joined in the chorus. "Sister, come down quickly, Brother Chen has to work while accompanying you in the hospital. It's not easy for him. Stop tormenting him like this, even as an outsider. It breaks my heart to see this." The two of them took turns belittling the new mother, making her seem worthless. The onlookers gradually lost patience and began to gossip. To be honest, women these days are just spoiled. They always think they're queens and throw tantrums at the slightest inconvenience. Marrying someone like that is really bad luck. The new mother became even more distraught after hearing this, screaming as she tried to jump. Fat Pig and Li Jia couldn't hide their excitement, just as they were hoping the new mother would actually jump. I fought through my dizziness and ran over to grab her hand, and shouted loudly, "What are you doing? Even if your husband is having an affair with the hospital doctor, you can't gamble with your own life." As the words fell, the entire ward fell silent. "What nonsense are you talking about?" The Fat Pig and Li Jia panicked, rushing forward to cover my mouth. I stood by the window and continued shouting loudly, "What are you doing? Your affair has been exposed. And now you want to silence me by killing me, is that it? Help, they're trying to push the pregnant woman off the building." The pregnant woman froze for a moment, then played along by pretending she was about to fall. The onlookers were outraged and quickly pulled Fatty Pig and Li Jia back, restraining them. Li Jia glared at me venomously. "Jingmi, I treated you as my best friend and went to great lengths to help cure your illness. Yet you turn around and slander me. What do you mean by this?" I sneered at her. "I only said this man was involved with a doctor at the hospital. I never named names. Why is Li so eager to play the fool?" Li Jia was momentarily speechless, her face alternating between pale and flushed. the fat pig couldn't bear to see her humiliated and stepped forward to accuse me. How dare you slander me and Dr. Lee like this? I'll have you know defamation carries legal consequences. Some people really are begging for trouble. I raised my voice louder and said, you and Dr. Lee pinch each other's butts and hold hands every day in the ward, and even sneak kisses in the bathroom, completely disregarding my feelings as a fellow patient. I've recorded all of it. Lee Jia sneered. It's illegal for you to secretly take photos of us without permission. I looked at her strangely and asked, I haven't used your photos for profit or shared them publicly, so how is it illegal? Lee Jia argued confidently, taking photos to slander and defame us is illegal. I found it even stranger. Who said I used it to slander and defame you? Lee Jia retorted indignantly. Then what did you use it for? I took out my phone, of course, to report you to the hospital. Lee Jia's face instantly turned uglier than if she had eaten shit. At that very moment, the hospital staff arrived, all looking at Lee Jia with expressions of disgust. Dr. Lee, someone reported you for inappropriate contact with a patient's family member during work hours. Come with us. Lee Jia was taken away, but the fat pig was still there. At this time, the woman who had just given birth was still sitting on the windowsill, and many media outlets rushed to the scene upon hearing the news, snapping photos of them relentlessly. I shouted vigorously beside them. The mother endured hardship to bear his child, fell seriously ill before even completing her postpartum confinement, and he, as a husband, neglects his wife completely, right in front of her. He flirts and gets cozy with the doctor. What a beast! The fat pig, chased by the media for interviews, quickly caved. It was that Dr. Lee who seduced me. I've been 100% loyal to my wife. It's just that I was momentarily blinded by lust and got bewitched, but the media couldn't care less whether he was bewitched or not. They just wanted to dig up more sensational scandals, and so, I became the provider of this scandalous scoop. I unleashed a torrent of words at the camera. The moment he entered the ward, I knew something was off. His wife offered me 50,000 yuan to switch beds with them. Before I could even respond, Lee Jia started jumping up and down in protest, saying accepting the money would make me cheap. Friends, this bed is mine. Who does Lee Jia think she is, making decisions for me? It would take me half a year of hard work to earn 50,000. Of course I'm going to switch. The onlookers buzzed with discussion. Even if you change beds, the money won't end up in Lee Jia's pocket. Her rejecting it for you is just jealousy. She doesn't want you to have that money. Plus, she's seizing the chance to build her own image of being above material desires while cozying up to that fat pig. The onlookers voiced exactly what I was thinking and even made bolder speculations. The new mom seems to have postpartum depression, doesn't she? That despicable couple just spoke so harshly. It's like they were deliberately provoking her to jump. Could they be trying to drive her to suicide? Someone asked the mother, did you buy insurance? The new mother said tearfully, I bought it, 8 million. The crowd erupted in uproar. Some impatient aunties and elder sisters couldn't hold back and started slapping the fat pig. The scene instantly descended into chaos. I didn't stay idle either. Once the media seized the moment to start a live broadcast, I clutched my head and collapsed to the ground. The new mother hurriedly jumped down from the window and asked me, what happened to you? When you were still half asleep this morning, a doctor sneaked you into the operating room. When I questioned him, he told me to mind my own business. Did he do something to you? I pretended to be weak. I don't know. I just woke up and found myself tied to the operating table. Director Lee said he was going to perform surgery on me. The new mother grew even more anxious. But you don't even have any family here, and you were unconscious. Who signed the surgical consent form for you? I asked Director Lee. He said Lee Jia signed it and even mentioned that I'm just an orphan. No one would care if I died on the operating table. I burst into tears facing the camera. I knew it. Yesterday he asked me for a 50,000 yuan red envelope, and when I refused, I knew he wouldn't let me off easily. The onlookers and the live stream audience erupted instantly. Many of Director Lee's former patients came forward one after another, sharing their experiences and accusing him of being a scumbag who deliberately made things difficult for patients who didn't give red envelopes. First, there was a patient forced to jump off a building. Then a hospital doctor seducing a patient's family member, and now another scandal, doctors extorting red envelopes, threatening to push patients onto the operating table to harm them if they didn't pay. More and more patients and their families arrived at the scene, completely blocking the hospital. Director Lee was dragged out of his office and beaten severely, while Fat Pig and Lee Jia didn't fare much better. Both were left bruised and battered in the chaos. With the live broadcast spreading the news, their misdeeds were exposed to the public. under pressure, the hospital dismissed Director Lee, forced him to return all his ill-gotten gains over the years, and he was also sentenced to prison. Li Jia didn't escape legal consequences either. She signed the surgical consent form and conspired with Director Lee to murder me, resulting in a 15-year prison sentence. Fat Pig was actually the one who received the lightest punishment among them, after all. He was only morally flawed and couldn't be directly judged as having the intention to murder his wife, but after the live broadcast, he was socially dead, being called trash by people when walking on the street. The mother successfully divorced him, and the child was awarded to her. It was also at this time that I learned that the mother's child wasn't sick at all. The reason for the child's early death in the previous life was entirely because Fat Pig did it on purpose. I also became wildly popular because of the live stream, with everyone praising my brave fight against the unethical and unscrupulous doctor. A senior expert from another province contacted me, offering to perform the surgery for free. Before going for the surgery, I met with the new mother. She was holding her baby, her complexion rosy, completely different from the pale and haggard look she had before. The moment we saw each other, we both smiled. She complained to me, "When you told me about that despicable man's affair with Li Jia, weren't you afraid I might lose my mind and jump off the building right then and there?" I shook my head with a smile. Before Li Jia, he had already cheated countless times, hadn't he? Otherwise, you wouldn't have been so tormented as to develop postpartum depression. The new mother nodded in agreement. Exactly, our families are both powerful and influential, well-respected households. Everyone kept telling me that a man's infidelity is no big deal, urging me to endure it. No one supported my decision to divorce, using the company's future and our child to pressure me into compromise. My depression didn't stem from his cheating, but from my inability to get a divorce, and my appearance gave the new mother hope. I asked her to cooperate with me and choose the right moment to deliver a fatal blow to Li Jia and her group, but I never expected Director Lee to be so vicious, actually planning to kill me unnoticed during the surgery. Fortunately, the expectant mother acted decisively by threatening to jump off the building, which delayed things. Otherwise, I'd already be a corpse by now. I looked at her, and she looked at me. We both smiled simultaneously. Staying away from scum, our future days will be filled with sunshine. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. My best friend, who lost both legs in a car accident, invited me to go hiking. No matter how much I tried to persuade her, I couldn't change her mind. I exhausted myself taking care of her the whole way. At night, I accidentally stumbled upon my best friend's live stream. On screen, Lin Wanwan's eyes were red and swollen from crying, her accusations against me cutting deep with every word. Jiang Nian said she'd take me hiking to relax, but then she abandoned me on the mountain and left by herself. I can't get down now. It's so dark all around. I'm really scared. Her bloodied knees exposed on camera instantly sparked sympathy among netizens. Thanks to this live stream, Lin Wanwan became an inspirational internet celebrity admired for her resilience despite disability. Meanwhile, I lost my job after being reported by outraged netizens. Worse still, while confronting Lin Wanwan to demand an explanation, I was attacked by extremist disability advocates who severed both my legs, leading to fatal blood loss. Only after death did I realize that everything was Lin Wanwan's own orchestration, all just to become an internet celebrity. Fortunately, I was reborn the day before Lin Wanwan invited me to go hiking, just as I confirmed with the director to reschedule my surgery from 3 days later to tomorrow. Lin Wanwan walked into my house. She cast aside her previous despondency and enthusiastically extended the same invitation as she had in her past life. "I have work tomorrow, you'll have to find someone else, but tomorrow is my birthday, you're my best friend, how could work be more important than that?" The despair she felt before her death in her past life still lingered in her mind. Lin Wanwan's coquettish hand pulling at me was shaken off without hesitation, her eyes immediately welling up with tears. "Nian Nian, what's wrong with you today? You're not still mad about me asking you to deliver midnight snacks to me last night, are you? You're so petty. You clearly know my leg, even though there are delivery drivers for midnight snacks." Lin Wanwan insists on ordering me around after my late shift, claiming she didn't want outsiders to see her in a sorry state. She insisted only gifts from close friends could be trusted. "I have a surgery scheduled tomorrow, only Dr. Wang and I can perform this procedure, but she's on leave, so I have to do it alone. Between saving a life and an optional hiking trip, which would you choose?" "Lin Wanwan, surely you're not that selfish. seeing Lin Wanwan's eyes well up with tears. My mom and hers immediately rushed to comfort her. Complaints kept coming at me relentlessly. Nyen Nyen, my Wanwan considers you her best friend, she's in such a state now, can't you just give in to her, even if you weren't friends? Don't you have basic empathy for disadvantaged groups? The muttered comment. And this person calls themselves a doctor, all that education wasted, though spoken softly. Reached my ears loud and clear. If you know the outcome yet still jump into the fire, that's when your education truly goes to waste. Since Lin Wanwan lost her leg in a car accident, everyone around her has treated her like a fragile porcelain doll. Even my own mother, overwhelmed with sympathy, constantly reminds me to always indulge Lin Wanwan. If she knew how terribly Lin Wanwan ruined me in my past life, I wonder if she would still join in persuading me. I packed a few essentials and decided to stay at the hospital tonight. Lin Wanwan's mother grabbed me and wouldn't let me leave. Nyen Nyen, can't you see Wanwan is crying? You're her only friend. She's finally pulling herself together and trying to do something to vent her pain. Shouldn't you stay with her? Missing tomorrow's surgery won't kill her. Just tell the hospital to postpone it for a couple of days. I turned back to glance. Lin Wanwan was already crying so hard she could barely catch her breath. The corners of her mouth were bitten so fiercely they bled. In my last moments of the previous life, the only color left in my vision was this same overwhelming crimson. In her past life, after Lin Wanwan's amputation, she repeatedly tried to end her own life. I tried different ways to comfort and console her every day, but with little effect, until her birthday. When she suddenly perked up and insisted on inviting me to go hiking together, I tried to persuade her that even with assistive tools, it would be very tiring for her. If she wants to relax, there are other things she could do. Lin Wanwan insisted repeatedly. Nyen Nyen, everyone has the right to pursue freedom. Do you look down on me too? Naturally, I couldn't bear to dampen her hard-won will to live. Lin Wanwan didn't want to be seen, so she chose a less traveled path. Seeing someone in the distance, Lin Wanwan would immediately get off my back and strike an exhausted pose on the ground. Occasionally, we'd encounter one or two people who were curious about how Lin Wanwan could still climb mountains despite her amputation. Lin Wanwan would always quickly say it was to accompany me. At the time, I didn't think much of it, assuming that as a disabled person, she might be judged differently for wanting to climb mountains, so it's affirmative, along the way. Lin Wanwan was unusually happy, smiling for the first time in months. Sweat soaked my clothes, and by the time I reached the mountaintop, I was panting like an ox, yet it felt worthwhile to bring comfort to my best friend. This sense of satisfaction lasted until I stumbled upon Lin Wanwan's live stream. The dirt on her body and the bloodstains on her knees were strikingly noticeable. Facing the camera, she cried pitifully. Nyen Nyen, where have you gone? Why aren't you back yet? I'm so scared. I was wrong. I shouldn't have ignored your advice this afternoon, but you can't just abandon a disabled person with paralyzed legs on the mountain. I know, I'm just a burden. I should have died in that car accident long ago, but I also have the right to live. Nyen Nyen, I won't let you succeed. I will live, and live more brilliantly than anyone. The barrage was filled with viewers moved by Lin Wanwan's indomitable spirit despite her disability. They were calling the rescue team to search the mountain while cursing me, their toxic best friend, wishing me a horrible death. When I received the call from my boyfriend Su Cheng, I was still completely dazed. After going up the mountain, it was Su Cheng who messaged me saying an emergency patient had arrived at the hospital and told me to hurry back. After arranging sedan carriers for Lin Wanwan to descend the mountain, I rushed to the hospital. When I got back, the so-called patient didn't exist at all. Even Su Cheng looked completely confused and asked me if I'd seen wrong. At the time, I just thought he was joking. By now, Su Cheng was already yelling at me furiously. Jiang Nian, how could you be so vicious? Do you deserve the noble profession of a doctor who saves lives and heals the wounded? Everyone in the hospital looked at me through tinted glasses. Even patients avoided me at all costs, preferring to waste time waiting in line at Dr. Wang's office rather than accept my surgery. Someone who would harm even those close to them must have darkness in their heart. I wouldn't dare let her operate on me. I found the sedan chair carriers from the mountain at that time to testify for me. The other party, however, claimed they had never seen me before. Even the messages Su Cheng sent me on my phone had disappeared. Everyone thought I was not only malicious but also a liar. But it was Lin Wanwan who insisted on dragging me to go hiking in the first place. In the end, I became the villain who forced a disabled person to hike for amusement. Under public pressure, the hospital decided to fire me. Wherever I go, I'm maliciously targeted. Clothes and bags slashed to pieces, gum stuck in my hair, and doorknobs smeared with super glue became the daily routine of my life. My fiancé, who was already engaged to me, went straight to my parents to call off the wedding. He said a wicked woman like me was so vile that even looking at me disgusted him. My life was completely ruined. Finally, on my way to confront Lin Wanwan, I was blocked by extremists with disabilities. They severed both my legs, and I ultimately bled to death. Only after death did I learn the whole truth. The reason Lin Wanwan targeted me was that after her legs were amputated, even her parents rarely visited her. I went to see her every single day. She thought I was just flaunting my healthy body to provoke her. Lin Wanwan gritted her teeth as she said this, but Jiang Nian had the nerve to pretend it was out of concern for me. Who knows what she's really up to? One day, Lin Wanwan came across a viral video of a blind person hiking with a guide dog, and an idea struck her. I'm going to strip Jiang Nian of everything, and I should be the one who steals the spotlight. I watched as Lin Wanwan nestled into Su Cheng's arms, whining and complaining. My broken leg is all Jiang Nian's fault. If it weren't for dodging her that day, would we have had to go all the way to the outskirts for our date? If we hadn't gone there, the car accident wouldn't have happened. Fortunately, she finally tasted the same pain I endured. It's just a pity she died outright. I really wanted to see how she would live the rest of her life in agony. Whether she could still condescendingly patronize others from her high horse. It was only then that I realized why Su Cheng had taken several days off after Lin Wanwan's car accident, claiming he was returning to his hometown. Though he was lucky enough to escape serious harm, he did suffer some minor scrapes. He took leave to avoid me while recovering, afraid I might connect it to Lin Wanwan. Since Jiang Nian is dead anyway, I might as well tell you, her accident was partly your doing too. Remember how I told you not to contact Jiang Nian on my birthday? Well, the message she received that day was actually sent by me using the phone you reserved just for her. Su Cheng simply rubbed Lin Wanwan's head and called her mischievous. My death brought him not a shred of guilt. After my death, Lin Wanwan became a major internet celebrity by portraying herself as someone with disabilities but strong willpower. She was even invited to speak at various events as a representative for people with disabilities. Su Cheng ended up getting together with the dean's daughter, but their affair never stopped. My resentment was so intense that I couldn't be reborn, forced to endure the burning pain of my soul while watching my enemy thrive. Meanwhile, I was constantly dragged out to be cursed and spat upon. Even my murderer, because he was disabled and mentally ill, was ultimately acquitted. Lin Wanwan even sent money to his family, thanking him for ridding the world of a scourge. Looking at Lin Wanwan pitifully waiting for my approval in front of me, I clenched my palms tightly, reminding myself that revenge is a dish best served cold. Pushing past Lin Wanwan's mother, my hand had just touched the doorknob when the door suddenly opened from the outside. Su Cheng turned to close the door and snatched the bag from my hand. I've already asked the director for leave on your behalf, so you'll have time tomorrow. I couldn't believe these words came from Su Cheng. Even if he was unfaithful in our relationship, I thought at least he remained true to his profession as a doctor. Seeing no reaction from me, Su Cheng's eyes were filled with reproach. Aren't you usually the one who cares most about Wanwan? Even I, as your boyfriend, only come second. Why are you acting so petty today? Arguing over delivering a meal to Wanwan? Aren't you embarrassed? Wanwan's in a difficult situation, so it's only natural we should take extra care of her. That's part of being a doctor, isn't it? It's what you always say yourself. To outsiders unaware of the truth, they might actually mistake him for some kind of noble, selfless saint. In reality, he's just a beast in human skin. I couldn't help but roll my eyes and quickly dodged Su Cheng's attempt to put his arm around my shoulder. I threw his own words from the previous life back at him. They were too filthy for me to keep. If you can't stand it, then go accompany her instead. After all, a person with disabled legs climbing a mountain would just be a burden to those around her. How many steps could she possibly climb herself? She'd probably need to be carried the whole way. Since you're a man, you're stronger, perfect for the job. Su Cheng accused me of being irresponsible, lacking empathy and compassion. Nian Nian. You're about to be evaluated for associate professor, right? Seems I need to advise the director to reconsider. Su Cheng threatened me as if it were perfectly justified, forgetting that 3 years ago, that promotion spot was originally mine. Su Cheng begged me to give him the opportunity. Auntie already looks down on me a bit. If your professional rank ends up higher than mine, there's even less chance for us. I have confidence in myself, even if I give up this opportunity. I'll definitely succeed next time. Su Chenka, on the other hand, has no idea how long he'll have to wait. I never expected him to use the professional evaluation as leverage against me now. I watched as Su Qing gave Lin Wanwan a reassuring look and agreed without hesitation. I nodded with a smile. Does Su Qing really think he has any say with the director? The atmosphere froze. And Lin Wanwan immediately tugged at Su Qing's sleeve. Brother Su, don't bully Nian Nian, and besides, this is a girls' night. It's more convenient with just the two of us. Brother Su, don't come in and mess things up. Jiang Nian, see for yourself. Even at a time like this, Wanwan is still protecting you. Su Qingwei wasn't worth Lin Wanwan's affection. Lin Wanwan immediately shook her head, her eyes reddening. Seeing my indifference, Su Qing grew even more protective of Lin Wanwan and was about to step in himself. Lin Wanwan adamantly refused, breaking into sobs. Su Qing locked the door and declared firmly, if you don't agree, don't even think about leaving this room. Suddenly, I felt the world was utterly absurd, a room full of people, yet no one found it strange why Lin Wanwan insisted I accompany her. My gaze fell on the surveillance camera at home. I lowered my head, then raised it again. I'll go, but on one condition. Su Qing has to come along. Lin Wanwan rushed to agree on behalf of Su Qing. I looked at Lin Wanwan's gleaming eyes. She must be scheming how to trick me, right, since I can't avoid it. Don't blame me for striking first. Lin Wanwan had clearly put special effort into her hairstyle and makeup. She's like an innocent little white flower, the same route, but she was carried the whole way. Only this time, Su Qing was the one doing all the heavy lifting. When we reached halfway up the mountain, he wanted to switch with me, but I firmly refused. He can indulge in his chivalrous acts as much as he likes. I followed the two at a moderate distance, with the tiny camera on my collar recording everything. I took a quick glance at my phone and was surprised to find that this rather dull live stream still had over a dozen viewers. Before setting off, I deliberately and repeatedly confirmed with Lin Wanwan. She was the one who insisted on dragging me up the mountain. I kept urging her to prioritize her health, suggesting we forget about it. All I got in return were Lin Wanwan's teary rabbit eyes and Su Qing accusing me of having no compassion. There's an active netizen in the comments section who keeps calling Lin Wanwan crazy, insisted on coming hiking herself, only to be carried all the way. Are the other two her sworn enemies? Lin Wanwan pretended to be frail on Su Qing's back. I feel much better now, Brother Su. It must have been so tiring for you. Thank you, Nian Nian, for being willing to accompany me. With every additional word she spoke, the barrage of curses in the comments grew fiercer, and the wider my smirk became. The closer we got to the mountaintop, the more crowded it became. Lin Wanwan asked Su Qing to put her down. Brother Su is too tired. It breaks my heart. It's all my fault. A disabled person like me should just stay at home and not cause trouble for others, but everyone has the right to pursue freedom. Who says disabled people can't climb mountains? Lin Wanwan steadied herself on the steps, eager to try. Su Qing comforted her softly, praising Lin Wanwan's bravery. After climbing a few steps, Lin Wanwan kept glancing at me, using thirst as an excuse. She sent Su Qing to buy water. After Su Qing left, Lin Wanwan began her performance. She threw away her crutches, placed both hands on the ground, and crawled forward using her amputated leg. Nian Nian, don't help me up, just follow behind, since we're already here. I want to experience it firsthand. Before long, voices contrary to the barrage of comments began to emerge around them. Among them were a few people they had encountered on the trail. What kind of person is that, clearly knowing their friend has difficulties, yet not offering a helping hand along the way? That girl mentioned it was her friend who insisted on dragging her hiking, taking someone with leg problems hiking. Is that something a decent person would even think of? Just look at that face, you can tell she's mean-spirited. Little girl, let us help you, you should stop and rest for a while. Lin Wanwan pretended to be flustered, repeating that it wasn't like that, but as for what it was really like, she didn't say. An aggressive man, seeing that I remained unmoved, tried to push me. Fortunately, Su Qing, who had just returned in time, blocked it from behind. He pulled me aside with concern, checking me up and down. The next second, seeing Lin Wanwan's knees already scraped bloody, his expression immediately changed. What happened? How could you let Wanwan get hurt? I told you to watch her. Whatever issues or grievances you have, you shouldn't take them out on someone with health problems. Jiang Nian, how could you become so cruel? The crowd around us grew larger, pointing fingers and whispering about me. This woman dragged her best friend, who has double leg amputations, up the mountain just to torment her, making her crawl on the ground. It's true that you can know a person's face but not their heart. Her best friend looks so pitiful. Why should she be bullied by someone like this? Su Qing clearly knew it was Lin Wanwan who suggested hiking, yet hearing everyone around scolding me, he offered no explanation. Holding Lin Wanwan in her dirted white dress, he kept asking if she was hurt. I calmly watched my phone. The live stream's viewer count had indeed multiplied several times compared to when we were just hiking. The screen was flooded with curses directed at Lin Wanwan. After the crowd dispersed, Lin Wanwan seemed to snap out of it and looked at me apologetically. Nian Nian, are you blaming me? I was just so startled by all those people that I didn't react in time to speak up for you. Oh, so you mean it wasn't intentional? Nian Nian, you're overthinking it. We're the best of girlfriends. After my leg amputation, you were the one who visited me every day, bringing me all my favorite snacks. You even went out of your way to record videos from my idol's concert just for me. I love you the most. I didn't react much, so Lin Wanwan tactfully moved closer to Su Qing. When I answered my mom's call, her first question was whether Lin Wanwan was with me. Wanwan's mom and I had plans to go shopping today, but I haven't been able to reach her. And she's not at home either. Come back quickly and help look for her. Don't tell Wanwan. I don't want her to worry. It seems that in this lifetime, Su Qing followed them up the mountain, while Lin Wanwan took advantage of my mother calling me away. I agreed immediately. Since she had already set the stage, it was only natural for me to play along. I didn't hide anything, and Lin Wanwan promptly acted anxious. Hurry up with the driving, Brother Su, take Nian Nian home first. But I'm not comfortable leaving you alone. How about Su Qing goes back to check on things, and I'll stay with you? Su Qing had been uneasy all along, and he immediately agreed to my suggestion. No, I'm fine. I'm worried about my mom. Since both of you are doctors, I'd feel better if you went back together. I'm really fine. If anything were to happen to my mom, I'd regret it for the rest of my life. Brother Su, please agree to this. Su Qing insisted I stay. He didn't trust Lin Wanwan to go alone. Or Wanwan, why don't you come down the mountain with us now? At this point, Lin Wanwan was so anxious she could have slapped Su Qing right then and there. Taking me along is slowing you down too much. I'm worried about my mom. You need to hurry back. I'll be fine. With my help. Su Qing finally relented, seizing the moment. I glanced over and noticed a few more comments had popped up on the live stream, though a bit scheming. At least she's filial. At such a time, she disregards her own safety to care for her mother first. After all, she's disabled and more sensitive inside. It's understandable that she might have acted out of line before. Exactly. Besides, her friends didn't even explain anything, so netizens have even less right to judge. We hurried down the mountain, and it took a full 3 hours to find Lin Wanwan's mother. Just as my mom was about to call the police in desperation, Lin Wanwan's mother came running out on her own. I said I was going to hang out at a friend's place, but forgot about my promise to my mom, and my phone happened to run out of battery. Su Qing looked at the already darkened sky and sped up the car to its limit. I had turned off the miniature camera as soon as I confirmed Lin Wanwan's mom was fine. I leisurely lay on the bed watching Lin Wanwan play the victim in her live stream. Lin Wanwan looked utterly disheveled. Her eyes were swollen like peaches, and her white dress was smeared with mud and bloodstains. Branches tangled in her hair, yet it added a wild kind of beauty, prompting a flood of sympathetic comments in the bullet chat. The barrage is filled with condemnations against me, until an incongruous comment appears amidst them. I saw the streamer in another live broadcast this afternoon. Everything she's talking about is in that stream's replay. If you're interested, you can go check it out. The account is XXXX. Lin Wanwan was silently shedding tears in front of the camera, basking in the barrage's praises for her resilience despite her disability. Disruptive barrage comments started popping up one after another. Everyone's been fooled. What the blogger said is completely opposite to the truth. The so-called toxic best friend she described is actually the real victim. I knew online stories often get reversed, but never expected to encounter one flipping this fast. What a green tea bitch this blogger is, using such tricks to exploit people's sympathy for disabled individuals. You're completely blocking the path for those who genuinely need help in the future. Lin Wanwan clearly didn't understand what the barrage comments meant. Her voice came out sharp beyond belief. I don't know what you're talking about. Everything I said is true. What reversal? Have you all been fooled by Jiang Nian? Acting one way in front of your best friend and another behind her back, and now you're trying to play the victim. Luckily, the best friend herself thought to document her life and caught it on record. Otherwise, how badly would you have been torn apart online? Feeling used, netizens retaliated fiercely, hurling every kind of harsh insult imaginable. I watched Lin Wanwan, stunned by the backlash, and finally felt a flicker of satisfaction. Lin Wanwan frantically tried to get up and end the live stream. Her knee wound hit the ground, and the pain sent her lunging straight toward her phone. Amid Lin Wanwan's screams and a series of chaotic crashes, the live stream cut off. Just before the disconnection, I faintly heard Su Cheng's anxious voice. To play the victim card and enhance the live stream's dramatic effect, Lin Wanwan had chosen to broadcast from the edge of the top step. Falling down like that would probably hurt her quite a bit. But compared to the pain I endured in my past life, this is far from enough. In her past life, Lin Wanwan gained over 100,000 followers from this live stream. Now, all those fans have flooded into my account. Behind the scenes, there was endless comfort and condemnation for that despicable couple. Sis, don't worry, your toxic bestie must have gotten her comeuppance by now. I often hiked Chilan Mountain, and the area where she was live streaming has many uncleared rocks around. If she fell, it could even lead to disfigurement in severe cases. Humming a tune, I felt somewhat comforted by this news. Lin Wanwan's only redeeming quality was her pretty face. At least half the money was spent on the face. When my mom urgently called me over, I thought she had seen the whole story online and wanted to comfort me. The moment I saw her expressionless face, I knew that wasn't the case. Let me explain, it's all a misunderstanding. Are you even my mom? I can understand how she was fooled by Lin Wanwan's pitiful act and her sympathy overflowed. Clearly, in my past life after I died, my mother kept trying to seek justice for me. She would often go to Lin Wanwan's door to confront and scold her. Does my mother really have to wait until I die to see Lin Wanwan's true colors? My mother looked at me with worry and sighed. Su Cheng called you but you didn't answer. So he called me instead. If you don't come forward to explain, he'll break off the engagement with you. Moreover, he and Lin Wanwan got hurt because of you, and he's going to sue you. My mother said whether the engagement is broken off or not doesn't matter, but if I were really sued, not only would I have to pay compensation, but Su Cheng is now practically my half-superior. What if he makes things difficult for me at work later? It would be hard for me to do my job. I breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, my mom still stands by me. Forget about Lin Wanwan, but how did Su Cheng get hurt? Although it was late at that time, there were still quite a few people at the foot of the mountain. After watching your and Lin Wanwan's live stream, some righteous individuals took matters into their own hands and confronted them. Su Cheng shielded Lin Wanwan and ended up getting his hair pulled out. In the rush to get into the car, his hand got caught in the door. Now both of them are in the hospital. The first time I saw Su Cheng in the hospital, I couldn't help but burst out laughing, doubling over with laughter. Su Cheng has decent looks, otherwise, I wouldn't have been interested in him. Someone who usually pays great attention to his appearance now looks no better than a beggar. One lens of the glasses was shattered into a spiderweb pattern. 3 or 4 bald patches were visible on his head, revealing the scalp beneath. Still losing blood, his hands had already been treated. Wrapped tightly in bandages like a zongzi, Su Cheng saw me and immediately started barking orders. We left Wanwan alone on the mountain and never went back to pick her up. Today was her birthday too, so she felt a bit wronged and went live unintentionally. Moreover, she fell down the stairs and cut her face, which will leave a permanent scar. This can be considered a lesson learned. Now go online and explain everything clearly. I glanced at Lin Wanwan lying on the hospital bed, still groggy from anesthesia, mumbling something in his mouth. It shouldn't be like this. Everyone was supposed to believe me. I was about to become a big influencer. Seeing this, Su Cheng patted Lin Wanwan with his other hand. A colleague mentioned that Su Cheng had injured his bone. His hands were injured so badly, yet he could still care about Lin Wanwan. On the way here, I came across someone online describing the scene at that time, taking advantage of the darkness when no one could see. Someone threw stones at the two of them. Su Cheng shielded Lin Wanwan in his arms the entire time. Someone pushed, and Su Cheng stumbled unsteadily, staggering a few steps. In her panic and fear, Lin Wanwan kept pulling Su Cheng's hair for support. After Su Cheng placed Lin Wanwan in the passenger seat, she hurriedly tried to close the door, without even looking at Su Cheng's hand, which hadn't had time to move away. She slammed the car door shut. It said that Su Cheng's screams at the time weren't much different from a pig's squeals, so basically, Su Cheng's entire appearance was largely Lin Wanwan's handiwork. When I asked about it, anger flashed across Su Cheng's face before being suppressed. My curiosity was piqued. Su Chengjue was by no means someone who let romance cloud his judgment. On the contrary, he was quite selfish. To be so selflessly considerate of Lin Wanwan, Could it be that aside from their affair, she also had some dirt on him? Su Cheng, we're over, there's no need to trouble my mom to relay messages between us anymore. Su Cheng, who had been domineering just moments ago, suddenly began to stammer. I refused to give Lin Wanwan any explanation. Didn't you say you wanted to call off the engagement? Su Cheng softened his tone. I was just angry at the time. There's no need for us to break up over such a small matter. A small matter? That's only because Lin Wanwan's scheme didn't succeed. In my previous life, after I was cyberbullied, everyone turned against me. Su Cheng not only didn't speak up for me, but also quickly distanced himself from me. He even played a part in getting me fired, after my death. When he was cheating with Lin Wanwan and mentioned me, the only words he had were, bad luck, seeing my determination. Su Cheng's pride, nurtured over these years, exploded. Break up then. Someone like you who shows no tolerance toward either friends or boyfriend will never amount to anything in life. Wanwan is far gentler and more sensible than you. The ignorant netizens will see your true colors and clear Wanwan's name. Someone as jealous as Lin Wanwan excels at targeting those closest to her. Could she really watch Su Cheng live freely while she herself was suffering? Lin Wanwan announced her live stream again. At the same time, I received a message from Su Cheng. For old time's sake, I'm giving you one last chance. It's not too late to publicly apologize to Wanwan now and take the blame yourself. Otherwise, I guarantee you'll regret it. As I hurried up the mountain, I blocked Su Cheng. I set up the stage. Did Lin Wanwan really think I wouldn't know what act she was putting on? In the frame, it was still the same spot where Wanwan had fallen before. The two flesh-colored scars on her face stood out prominently, but with good lighting, she doesn't look ugly at all. Instead, there's a pitiful charm about her. Ugly people sure make a fuss. Oh, who forced you, a disabled person, to climb the mountain this time? Can't such a vicious person just stay quietly at home? So annoying to look at. The screen was filled with endless curses. Recently, my life has been truly miserable. Relatives and friends don't want anything to do with me. Strange things keep appearing at my doorstep, and my phone keeps ringing non-stop, all from people cursing me. Sob. Lin Wanwan's display of weakness only made the barrage of comments cheer louder. Gritting her teeth to stop crying, she continued, I can't take it anymore. Jiang Nian, since you're being ruthless, don't blame me for being unkind. The barrage heard there was a plot twist and stopped spamming, eagerly waiting to see what would happen next, urging Lin Wanwan to hurry up. It was Jiang Nian who wanted to become an internet celebrity. Everything everyone saw was a script we both agreed on from the beginning. The original plan was to wait until Jiang Nian gained popularity before clearing my name, pretending it was all just a joke. But now that Jiang Nian has the followers, she's abandoned me. Only after my death in my previous life did I learn that Lin Wanwan had prepared a backup plan. If I had escaped her schemes, I would never speak up for her. As long as I stay silent, she can easily turn the tables by relying on the internet users' tendency to follow trends blindly. Netizens aren't fools. They don't believe everything she says and are clamoring for evidence. How could I possibly have things like audio recordings or screenshots? Back then, I was too naive and never imagined I'd be betrayed. Otherwise, how could I have been fooled by Jiang Nian? Lin Wanwan's eyes were red and wide open, tears streaming down her face. Looking utterly pitiful, combined with her naturally innocent appearance, some viewers in the bullet comments began speaking up for her. Think about it carefully. Who would deliberately live stream while hiking normally? Moreover, Jiang Nian's account was newly registered and hadn't posted anything before. Lin Wanwan immediately chimed in. Jiang Nian never used to do live streams before. This account was specially created, and it's already gained over 100,000 followers. Jiang Nian asked me to teach her how to live stream, but I never expected it would end up harming me instead. I only have myself to blame for being too soft-hearted to help my best friend become an internet celebrity. I even went along with deceiving netizens, but I was also deceived by her, and I'm truly sorry to everyone. Lin Wanwan struggled to her feet, supporting herself with both hands, and assumed a kneeling position, bowing her head in apology. This livestream is just to prevent everyone from being deceived by those who are truly exploiting your popularity to rise to fame. Although I don't have direct evidence, there are still indirect witnesses. From behind Lin Wanwan, a plainly dressed middle-aged man stepped forward. He looked trustworthy at first glance. Lin Wanwan's confident demeanor remained until the witness began to speak. Lying, isn't lying bad? Should I really say it like you taught me? What are you talking about? Lin Wanwan's scream pierced through everyone's eardrums. She shook the witness violently, her voice filled with panic. Didn't you say yourself that Jiang Nian didn't give you money to carry me down the mountain that night? Didn't you say she was lying? Say it. What did you say before? Say it. Jiang Nian didn't hire anyone to carry me down the mountain, so she lied. Everything she said is false. Are you threatening the witness right in front of us? So this is digging your own grave. The witness grew anxious too, pulling out the transfer record I gave him that night. Your friend did arrange for me to take you down the mountain, but you absolutely refused to go at the time. I even stayed with you for an hour. Here's the 1,000 yuan you gave me. Sorry, miss, but I still think lying isn't right. I'm returning the money to you. Lin Wanwan crouched on the ground, grabbing stones and throwing them at the witness. It's not like this. Jiang Nian must have bribed you to frame me. She actually guessed right. I promised to find his son a decent job, so naturally they'll say whatever I tell them to. I really didn't arrange for him to escort Lin Wanwan down the mountain, have him take the initiative to approach Lin Wanwan, make Lin Wanwan believe that money alone can persuade him to testify, make Lin Wanwan think victory is assured and she can definitely turn things around. The crowd is furious. With so many bullet comments completely obscuring Lin Wanwan's face, Lin Wanwan was in a daze, repeating that the witness had been bribed by me and that it was all part of my scheme, but no one believed her. As I approached Lin Wanwan, Su Qing suddenly rushed out from somewhere, his face filled with anger. Jiang Nian, I never expected you to be so venomous. I truly regret ever choosing to be with you. You're always so kind and sensible. Wanwan, how can you bully her like this? Doesn't your conscience hurt? I moved closer to Su Qing, whispering softly so only he could hear. You don't know yet, do you? The kind Lin Wanwan you see has completely destroyed herself. She couldn't ruin me, but she can ruin you. Check the message the director sent you, Su Qing. Prepare to be expelled. You can tell how furious the owner is just from the text. Su Qing stared wide-eyed, unable to believe what he was seeing. Did you do this? It was sweet and sensible Wanwan. After all, she's the only one who knows about your affair with the director's wife. Su Qing looked at Lin Wanwan in disbelief. Before his mind could process it, his body moved first. A slap landed, and Lin Wanwan tumbled down the stairs once again. The scream was abruptly cut off. If I hadn't been reborn, indeed only Lin Wanwan would know this secret. In my previous life after I died, the name Huang Fong was mentioned by Lin Wanwan. It wasn't until recently that I learned the director's wife is actually named Huang Fong. Lin Wanwan wasn't as lucky this time as she was last time. His temple hit a rock, causing him to lose consciousness immediately. Her mother refused to pay for her treatment. Using the live stream as evidence to demand Su Qing take full responsibility for Lin Wanwan's medical expenses, Su Qing, who came from a remote mountain area, relied solely on this job as his only means of support. Furious over losing his job because of Lin Wanwan, how could he possibly care about her now? Instead, he clung to me. Nian Nian, can you forgive me just this once? I was deceived by Lin Wanwan before. That's why I didn't trust you, Huang Fong. She was the one who seduced me first. I only made that foolish mistake because I was thinking about our future together. It turned out Su Qing performed poorly during his internship and couldn't stay on at all. He went all out to flirt with the director's wife just to secure his position. Lin Wanwan accidentally discovered this, but she said nothing, only confessed her feelings to Su Qing. At first, Su Qing stayed with Lin Wanwan purely out of fear that she might expose him. As for what happened later, perhaps it's just that men are inherently flawed at their core. Knowing that Lin Wanwan's car accident was also related to Su Qing, her mother went even further to pin the blame on him. She threatened to either settle privately for money or sue Su Qing for intentional harm. Not satisfied, she also spread Su Qing's promiscuous affairs far and wide, making them known to everyone. One night, Su Qing was beaten up after being ambushed with a sack over his head, and the next day, he vanished without a trace. Lin Wanwan's mother thought he was trying to evade paying debts by hiding. It wasn't until they reported to the police that they found out Su Qing had actually been trafficked abroad. It said he was killed the same day for attempting to escape. As for Lin Wanwan, the hospital issued its final notice. The patient is in a vegetative state and probably won't wake up. Her mother refused to continue treatment and abandoned her at the hospital. In the end, the police forcibly sent her back home. Within 2 days, we heard the Lin family held a funeral. Occasionally, when chatting with colleagues, they would look at me with sympathy. Such scumbags. I actually encountered 2 of them. I held the notice of successful professional title evaluation in my hand. I rejoiced at the change of fate in this lifetime, and also rejoiced at the great vengeance achieved. After hearing the 2 stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section, looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.